Before the discovery of oil phase, the economy of Saudi Arabia represented the form of a closed economy based on the effort profile and regulated. Then securing the daily demand of life was minimal because it was something elusive and it was activity, population and parents before the explosion of the oil and commercial production is limited to a large extent and it concentrates in a livestock breeding, while the residents of villages and rural areas were engaged in agriculture, trade, simple, primitive form. After the discovery of oil in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, the government focused on the growth of the country's economy. Among its concerns, interest in human cadres and trained them to raise the efficiency and growth of the country's economy. And that was the beginnings of technical and vocational training in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. And because the growing need for the rehabilitation of young Saudis technically and professionally, Saudi Arabia has decided to establish the Technical and Vocational Training Corporation since 23 June 1980 in order to prepare manpower in technical and vocational fields. Accordingly, to develop programs in line with the needs of the country, and for that, Technical and Vocational Training Corporation has to provide a large number of technical colleges and industrial institutes for boys and girls all across the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, where it has established 158 industrial training institutes and 48 College of Technology and 39 technical institute for girls and 4 technical trainers colleges. Technical and Vocational Training Corporation has developed and launched of projects under the auspices of King Abdullah, may Allah have mercy on him, in numerous aspects comparing with the past, such as design of the campus, where the design of the campus in the former lacks the surrounding facilities consistent with those conditions, and that means there is no need for a larger space for parking because of the small numbers of students at that time. There was a small numbers of facilities, including a library, classrooms, staff offices, workshops, and mosque and cafeteria, and accommodation for staff. At the moment, and after increasing of the number of students, Technical and Vocational Training Corporation focused on the development of the campus in terms of buildings and expansions design, and to provide a large space of parking to cover all the numbers of cars, also to provide more facilities including a library, classrooms, staff offices, workshops and mosque, cafeteria and accommodation for staff and students, lounge for sports activities such as tennis table, billiard, playstations, food vending machines, coffee shops and ATM, and all that facilities provided to the student to make better weather for learning process. Design of the classrooms. The design of the classroom previously is not as good as now, where the design depends on the traditional form and there is a few equipment to help the student learning. Also, the labs and workshops has traditional equipment. It's not up to date to a modern technology. Also, the design of the workshops is not so comfortable for practicing and learning. Where in the meantime, the Technical and Vocational Training focused on the redesign of the classrooms and developed with the latest modern equipment like computers and new furniture to provide the best learning environment. Also for the labs and workshops, it provided latest technical devices in all technical and professional disciplines so that students are taught to those modern applications in order to be abreast of the latest technologies. Use of media in the classroom. Whereas the media in the past is not advanced, the teacher will use simple media in the classroom, for example, blackboard with chalk and old projector, books and worksheet. And those media is not helpful for the student to deliver the idea, and because of that, Technical and vocational training cooperation has improved the media in the classrooms, and the teachers can use many different media such as whiteboard and new projector with high resolutions, smart board, videos and PowerPoint presentations, smartphones and other media in order to deliver information to students very easily. Role of the teachers and quality of teaching. In the past, educational process depends on the teacher, equivalent to 70% of the weekly classes, and 30% depends on the students. The teacher will use a frontal lecture methods to explain to the students, and the student just receives the information without thinking. Also, the assessment in the past, it's not so good, where teacher use oral exam and written exam to evaluate the student learning, and that provide less quality of teaching. But now, it's entirely different than before, where the educational process depends on the student more than the teachers. The teacher gives the students the core of the lesson with some examples, and the rest depends on the student. Now there are modern methods of teaching such as a group work, partner work, group puzzle, and many modern methods to help the learning process. And for the assessment, there are many modern ways to evaluate the student learning, such as written exam and oral exam, and presentations, projects, reports, and other assessment to evaluate the student. All these types of teaching methods and assessment make the student more innovative and also increase the creativity among students. Also, they can give their own opinion to make the educational process more better and to make the quality of teaching better than before. Technical and vocational training cooperation is still interested in developing vocational education and development of human resources in order to achieve future goals. And one of these goals are the new Vision 2030, where the technical and vocational training cooperation prepared future programs that will contribute to achieve the new Saudi Vision 2030. And those programs are localization of mobile phone sector, expansion of training modules to achieve the prospects of the plan, flexible training programs, capacity building, the development of electronic system for the services of trainees, the evening training, and other programs will help to achieve the goals